my name is Ibome Husseini Melabari, and this is Frankly Speaking on Good News One TV. I'm so thrilled about today's show because we're going to be talking about youth and relationship. We're going to be discussing about many of the questions that comes up when a relationship fails. And today in the studio with me, I have Priscilla. You're so welcome.
Thank you very much.
And I have Mr. Frank. Mr. Frank, so welcome. I have Mr. Samson in the studio. Mr. Samson, it's good to have you with us.
My pleasure.
And Miss Patience, thank you for being with us in the studio. So, relationship at all levels is so very much important that we know how to maintain it and sustain it for a long distance. It's very crucial. And today we're going to, like I mentioned, we're going to be looking at the many questions that do rises of when a breakup happened. And relationship is basically not about finding the Mr. Perfect, because there's no one who is perfect, and it's not about finding the most beautiful girl, because beauty fades and there's none like that. And it's not about finding the richest man, because of course money cannot buy love. And so relationship is about finding who will respect you, who will comfort you in times of your need, and who will honor you, who will love you for who you are, who will equally support you when you have something or wanting to pursue in life. And so today we're going to really be looking at all of those issues. So what really should young people be looking at before going into a relationship, first of all? Because I strongly believe that before you accept anybody, there should be like a standard that you are looking up to, and the kind of value that you want to see in this person before you jump into a relationship with that person. And I have mentioned that in a relationship you are looking for who will care for you. In a relationship you are looking for who will comfort you, who will do all of those good sweet things. But it's unfortunate that in a time such as this, you can't find all of this in one person. You can't find it. And so let's look at what should young people be looking at basically, what matters, what is so important before you go into a relationship with that particular person. So the floor is open for discussion. Mr. Sam.
Okay, I'm excited you call me anyway. You see, basically, if before you go into a relationship, you have to ask yourself. You have to first discover yourself. Discover yourself in the sense that you have to know what purpose is for you. What are you brought on earth to do? Because truth is, if the knowledge of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. So if you don't know yourself, you might be abusing yourself, and then you are comfortable abusing yourself. So first you have to discover who you are. We saw that even in the Garden of Eden. God did not just created Adam and then created a wife for him.
That's right.
He brought Adam and then gave him a sense of purpose. He gave him the field to tend, the animals to name, before he brought Eve. So he had at the point understood his purpose before the lady. Let me not take that.
Well, I strongly agree with you. You have to find purpose first within you, because you cannot give what you do not have. Mr. Frank.
Yeah, thank you for having me here. Basically, I think this very aspect of relationship is also something that so many youths have been shying away from, and I feel like it's actually responsible for why so many relationships have not withstand the time, the pressure of time. Now, just like he has said, something has said, before going into a relationship, you need to examine yourself. Why are you actually going into a relationship? What reason are you going into a relationship for? As a Christian, you have a reason of going into a relationship. As a pagan, you have a reason of going into a relationship. It's all about discovering why you want to go into a relationship. I've heard so many people that say they want to go into a relationship that eventually lead to marriage so that they'll be able to have children.
Wow.
And I have some people that say that they don't even care about the kids. I have friends that have been married for like 5 years, and then when you ask them, what's up, why are you up to now? You'll be like, don't ever ask me that again. That's not why I entered a relationship. So you need to discover why you are going into a relationship, and then before you move into a relationship, because if you fail to discover why you're going to a relationship, eventually you meet so many things there that you will not even expect. Don't go into relationship because people are actually going into relationship. You can't just walk up to somebody and say, I want to marry you because you see that somebody has gotten married and you just want to feel among. So basically that's why you have to look inward, see the need for it before going. I once attended a marriage seminar and told us that I was very little then when I attended a marriage seminar, and I was told then that if you're saying I want to get married, I want to get married, that means you're not actually matured enough to get married. That when the maturity comes in, she won't say I want to get married. Just look for the person and then get married. So basically that's how it is in relationship, because you can't. The relationship we are talking about now, a 10-year-old child cannot be in such relationship, because what are you going there for? For instance, you understand? So you have to be matured enough to understand why you are going into this relationship.
Thank you. Yes. I really like the dimension you're going, because Mr. Samson, he mentioned that you have to discover purpose before you go into a relationship, and now you are taking us into the side of becoming matured. A child or a boy or a girl cannot certainly be in a relationship. They can't sustain it because they do not have the capacity to sustain that. Priscilla?
When it comes to discovering purpose, once you discover your purpose, one of the things you should look out for is someone who is compatible. Like, let's assume you want to become a model in the future, you can't just go and marry a pastor. You guys should. I'm just setting an example. Like, imagine yourself on stage or.
What if they say, okay, now you are to model a bikini
exactly,
or what,
and
then your husband is a pastor.
Yes, because of his reputation, you cannot just go ahead to. So one of the things you should look out for is compatibility for somebody that is going in that same direction. That you're going. Because you've discovered purpose, it's going to be easier for you to meet.
Thank you so much for that aspect, because Amos 3:3 says that can two walk except they agree. So if there's no agreement in some aspect of life, you certainly cannot move in the relationship successfully. Miss Patience?
Okay, I think before people should go into a relationship, I feel that there should be some sort of emotional stability. You shouldn't just go into a relationship maybe when you are coming out from a heartbreak or some kind of hurt, and then you are going into a relationship to hurt someone else. I don't think it's going to work. Exactly. You're using somebody as a payback plan for hurt. So I think people should be able to build their mental capacity to be stable emotionally before they pursue another relationship.
Yeah, but this is where a lot of people now find it difficult. They don't wait to heal from the hurts of a past relationship before jumping into another one. Immediately they experience a breakup, they are looking for someone to cover up so that they will feel fine. Some people, they can't stay on their own alone for a longer time. So they're always looking for someone who will give them validation, who will comfort them. What, Mr. Sam, is there?
I really don't want to differ too far, but I feel now it's about timing. Once you define time, now let's start from where I was coming from when we talk about purpose. If you have a purpose, right? Now, sorry, let me still clarify this. Sometimes when we feel hot about relationship, there are factors that make us feel hot.
That's true.
Now, and those are basically factors we have allowed in the relationship. I don't say living a relationship should cause us hot.
Yeah.
I know it won't sound very straight.
But sorry to chip in, it's not everybody that can handle hot.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. However, if you did the needful from point A, which is discovering purpose, and coming to Frank's point, discovering yourself and maturity, coming to her point and knowing about compatibility, coming to her, you know that the next step is who suits this. You understand?
Yeah.
Now you came across, for instance, a person A, and she doesn't suit that. You move.
But sorry, that's where I said that a lot of them, because of the fear of being alone, they don't want to be alone. So whoever you are, I can take you just like that. It's for the meantime. It's not for forever. they suddenly know that this is not the type of
Sorry,
person I want.
I think I should clarify on this. Now, you moving, all right? There is time to it. Understand this time factor. I want to get to Abuja by 6 a.m. Right? I stop a vehicle, and it's not the car I want to enter to Abuja. What do I do next? I wait for the next vehicle, right? Should I take the time I'm supposed to be and be waiting for another vehicle? No. Now, factors that make us feel most times hot in a relationship are, especially as Christians, I know we shouldn't, it sounds odd when we talk about this, but once you are into a relationship and you don't know what brought you in, you start having sex.
That's true.
Right? You start committing your whole family needs on this guy or on this lady. And when this guy leaves you, he leaves you hot. Because when you have sex, someone said sex is like pasting a docket on the wall. When you peel it, you leave a part of it. You understand? So you leave this guy with a part of you, and when he's leaving, you are hot. But trust me, if there's no sex in a relationship, moving is easier.
So true, I agree with you.
That's
Right, I feel like commitment actually is important in relationship. Just like you said, it's a compatibility stuff. Compatibility to me is just like a flower. You understand? It can be watered, it can grow, and then eventually, for instance, a footballer who is in a team, a new team, will find it very maybe slightly difficult to, acclimatize with the team. But as time goes on, you discover that footballer becomes the finest player that they ever produced. So compatibility is just like flower. You need training, you understand, watering, and then eventually it grows up. Now, coming to this issue of being hot when you live in a relationship, you say something about emotional. Now, relationship, of course, it's actually, you have to be emotionally ready. Now, the thing is this, God gave us intuition. If I'm in a relationship with you, and I am not actually what you want, there's this intuition that reveals to you that I'm not actually what you want. But the greatest mistake we make is that we want to stay, let's see
how we give it to change,
blah blah blah, and this. And then the intuition is not always wrong. The intuition is like 95% right. You understand?
Yes.
Why don't you follow your intuition? That's where you started hurting yourself. You understand? Because you want to stay. Now, before you actual breakup actually happened, you might have actually broken up a long time ago. Just that you're dear in your physical body. You understand?
I think they said this is more common with ladies.
You just want to be there. Let's see how we patch it over. If you want to tell us the truth, the breakups have already happened a long time ago. So just once you feel it there and you see that this thing cannot work, you guys are not compatible, you guys have watered the flower, it's not growing, it keeps dying off. Months in or maybe days, it dies off. Why don't you just move on?
Thank you so very much. I think we've already dived into the main discussion, which is why are there breakups, the reasons for breakups, right? And Mr. Frank, you make mention that compatibility is like a flower. If you water it, it will grow into the level you want it to be. What about someone that the psychology, like your intellectual level is not the same, and you have tried, you see that this person is not at all putting effort to meet up with that? How do you?
Okay.
You bring the whole water pot to water.
The thing is this. I'll just give you my little kind of understanding. The thing is this: if what you cannot endure, don't tolerate. I don't know if you understand.
Okay.
There's a difference between. If there's something that you know you can't endure, it is not wrong for you to say, I don't want this. You have every right to want what you want. I have every right to want what I want. You understand? As a man, as a lady, you have every right to want what you want. Now, when you come together with what you want and what I want, and see if it aligns, and see if you can grow, and see if you can water it, then you'll start watering it. But if you can't grow, you can't align, what is there to water? That means the plants has even rotten before even planting it, you understand? So don't bother doing it. Don't tolerate what you cannot actually endure. You understand? Except you want to, there's this thing, this is the truth. We keep deceiving ourselves. Let's just stay, let's endure, blah blah blah. Are you sure you can actually endure? I don't know if you understand. For instance, you meet a guy that beats you always. And you say, when you get married, you will change. Who told you? That means you are willing to endure actually.
Are you the Holy
Are you the Holy Spirit that you understand? That means you want to endure. That means you want to endure the kind of beating and everybody will keep beating you, and then if you want to endure, no problem. I've seen so many people, so many ladies, they'll be like, they would this husband used to beat you, why are you still here? You say, I will do now. If I go outside now, this, let me just endure. That means you are ready to endure. I don't have any problem with it. But if you can't endure, don't start it.
That's right. A lot of young people really, they most times see those red flags, but because for the fact that I really want to be in a relationship because Miss A is in a relationship and I can't stand to be said that I'm single. For that, no matter how I should be in a relationship, even when they are seeing some red flags. So, Mr. Sam, give us. What do you think are the causes really of breakups? What causes relationships to fail? What causes it? Mr. Frank has already established some for us. What do you think?
Yeah, I think relationship, there is no particular formula that works. There's no particular formula that fails. What works for me might not work
for me.
For Mr. B. You understand? But it boils down to, where am I right now? Where do I want to be? How many persons can I accommodate? You understand? Now, in this my capacity of accommodating this person, what load is this person carrying? You understand now? I want to give you a lift in my car, and then you are carrying load that is worth more than my car. I can decide to leave you and your load. Or I carry you alone.
And leave the load.
And leave the load. You understand? So most times the relationship fails because, like Frank said, we try to push the load into the vehicle we know obviously cannot contain it. Relationship also, in fact, most times fail because of your motive. Your motive, because most times we go into a relationship as young believers and we don't even ask ourselves why. I was mentoring or talking to a very younger person, a very, very younger person, and he is in a relationship already. As a matter of fact, he was 18.
Wow.
And I told him, I said, why are you in a relationship? You understand? I thought, this is me talking to him now, I thought until the end point of relationship should be marriage, right?
Yeah.
Now, you have not gone to the higher institution. You don't even have a job. Are you getting me? You have not even established anything for yourself, and you are in a relationship. Why? And he was just moving. Now, for us, if relationship is to end in marriage, at what point do I want to marry? And that is why sometimes you hear people having stories of, I was in a relationship for 7 years, 8 years. Because you don't even know when you are going to a relationship, so you enter too early. You understand? So you keep traveling a mile, you begin to see the wrongs that you are supposed to see in marriage and endure. You see it in a relationship. Of course, it's better in a broken relationship than a broken marriage, yes?
Sorry to cut you short, right? So why is it that if a lady asks a guy, where do you want, what kind of relationship do you want? They tend to look at it as this lady is being desperate now. Why is it so?
Okay, well, I think, please, ladies should ask. Ladies should ask. You have to be sure. You understand? It's not desperate. It's you trying to secure.
Get clarity.
Yeah, get clarity, right? Secure what happens tomorrow. Because if this guy tells you, I want us to have fun, you know you are going to have fun. An 18 years old or a 20 years old boy cannot say, I want us to marry. Begin to look at how many years does he even have. He has not met a girl in the university yet. He has not met a girl in the NYC yet. There are girls waiting for him at every point of his life. So if you meet those girls and able to overcome them and get married to you, miracle number one. Secondly, his position, what is he doing? Is it even in the next 6 months? Can he feed you? Can he add another mouth to what he's feeding? These are issues.
I really like this question. Can he feed you? A lot of guys really, they do not picture out this. They do not. They don't have, let's say, a focus that this is what I want to do in life. This is what I want to achieve. There is no short and long term goals, but they are looking at a lady who maybe probably have built up herself to some certain level, and they are looking up to her, wanting to have a relationship with that person. Miss Patience, do you think that greed plays a role in making a relationship to fail? Like, Can greed cause a relationship to fail?
Okay, yes, I think greed plays a very serious role in today's relationship failures. Because when people go into relationships, let's say for the guys, they're either looking at this lady, she has a big backside, she has this very big front side, and then they're looking at how she's going to satisfy them in bed. Whereas for the girls, they're looking at how this guy is going to, they're looking at the weight of his pockets, if he's capable enough to sponsor their trips, get designer bags and shoes for them. I think so that's like one of the reasons where greed plays a role, because maybe when this person cannot sustain you in that your ambition, you tend to maybe walk out and then causing the other person hurt.
I like that. Priscilla.
So when we talk about greed now, even in marriages, sorry, I'm not married, but I really want to talk about this because I've seen how marriages tend to break up, or they strive. They are kind of just enduring the whole process because of this greed issue now. You see men actually, I'm going to go straight now. Men are greedy sometimes. Growing up, we all knew that everything, the men are the head of the house, and their own role is to provide for the family. Now, as a woman, you want to build your own career, you have your own dreams. These are things you discussed with this guy in a relationship, and he said, yes, I will support you. He even said it on the altar, that he's going to support you, he's going to make sure you attain, you reach your goal in life. But once you get married, first you have a first baby, he'll tell you, okay, have the second baby so that you go to the next one, and then you have the second baby. And that's how you see a lady, her dreams tend to die off slowly. She moves from being a career woman, a purposeful woman,
to a housewife.
To a housewife. Even when she's working, she could be working, but then her goal in life, she had this, she projected a future for herself, but because of the kind of man she married, he tends to the support will be less, and when you bring it up, you'll be like, okay, just take care of Junior. When Junior is in secondary school, when Junior is in uni, you can go back to, and those things don't come to pass. This is greed, and it is common in men.
I think we should address that.
Can we respond?
Oh, yes, you can.
Well, actually, I understand your point in a way, but the truth is this. I feel like, not like I feel like, it's actually what is it.
Okay.
The man is the head of the family, right?
Yes.
What's the woman then? When you place the woman? The woman is the neck of the family.
Yes.
So can the head move without the neck?
No.
Now, you can actually control what happens in your home in a way. Now, this is it. We may be claiming the head of the family anyway. Of course, we're actually the head of the family because when it comes to decision making and the rest, but there's a way you can actually control your man to make a particular decision if you are really a good wife or a good friend to the man. Because the man cannot actually make any, except his on his own. It's not possible. Except it's just this kind of arranged marriage anyway. In quotes, you understand? But every man, for a man to make decision, 90% of that decision is actually originated from the woman, because she's actually the head of the family. Now, if you say you want to go to school, depends on the way you want to place it, the way you want to go about it. You understand? You can naturally regulate everything that happens in that home. I'm not saying there's no situation, there's exception, of course. There are some people that greed covers, you understand? But the great percentage of it, women controls the home, because women are actually the neck of the family and not the head. And the head, become a head machine.
So Mr. Frank, this side that you are going on, it's looking at it's communication issue, because most times if there is a gap in communication, you wouldn't know that we have people who don't know how to express themselves. And so this is where the communication problem comes in. If they can't communicate as a husband and wife, or as in a relationship, you wouldn't want to know, you wouldn't know, or this is the need of this person, this is the need of this person. So can we say that communication can actually cause a breakup also?
I don't know. I think Yeah, communication can actually cause breakup. But what in a case where the man or the woman is adamant, they are very stubborn, like they don't want to listen to you. So how do you how do you communicate to people like that in a relationship?
Well, I think now I wanted to talk about what she was saying earlier too. I still have to bring it to the point A. A lot have to happen at point A.
Before.
A lot have to happen at point A. Don't date somebody who tells you he can do this for you. Date someone else.
Excuse me, sorry, I have to break you now. You said we should ask questions. We asked, like, we discussed it in relationship.
I was coming to your point. I was coming to your point. Now, don't date someone who you ask if he marries you. I mean, you said it in your point that you have discussed that and have agreed even before the marriage. But truly, it goes beyond verbal agreement.
Yeah.
So, like, it is now. It goes beyond what he said. Sometimes we are blind. We use this word, love is blind, and it truly shouldn't be, especially at the point of relationship. In fact, love should open your eyes.
Yes.
Now, you date someone who tells you, and is obviously kind to you, but is he kind to the waiter?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Is he kind to the driver? Are you getting it? How he embraces you with love and care for you, but how did he do it to others? His mom, his family, how is his relationship with them? Someone who told you he will allow you go to school or allow you have a career after marriage, how is his conversation with his younger sister about school?
Yeah.
Is it that one who said only guys should go to school? Even in his smallest play. Take all those things serious. You have to know him. You understand? It's beyond what you agree. How is he? He says I am a nice guy, and he goes to a restaurant and a waiter talk and he yell at her. He's only nice to you because he loves you.
Yeah.
You understand? So please, it goes beyond what you hear. And then talking about communication. In fact, communication is one thing, presentation is another thing.
That's right.
You understand? I am communicating now, but I might not be presentable. I might have something on my head. I want to tell Frank, I need money. You understand? I want you to give money. I can come and say, Frank, give me money, I want to do this business. And he tells me he doesn't have. Someone can come and say, guy, I have this project, this is the advantage. And you see Frank, the same Frank giving him money. You understand? So communication needs to also be accompanied very closely with presentation. We might be talking and then we're not understanding each other. So those are issues.
So in communication, there has to be listening, there has to be empathy, and there has to be understanding for it to just happen. And so this one, can we say that is the male gender or the female gender that mostly causes this breakup? Is it a gender thing, or is it just happened?
Well, all right. To me, I don't think it's the gender stuff in a way. It has to do with the both sides. Understand? Communication is a very, very serious something when it comes to relationship, because it kills relationship twice faster than betrayal. Yeah. Now, when betrayal happens, it can actually be overlooked, especially when it affects the lady. You understand? But communication destroys the relationship. Communication destroys the relationship twice faster than betrayal. So it's two ways. Guys, most of the times I will talk from my own point of view, because my guy, if I'm communicating with you as a lady, I'm looking for your attention, or I need you to reciprocate at one point. Now, when you don't reciprocate, of course, it goes off. And then even when we're in a relationship, I can't be the one always calling. Even if I have the money to call, you understand. But there should be a time that you just pick up your phone. Guy, what's up? Are you doing this? You know, it plays an important role as well. So that's it about it.
Prissy? Oh, you want to say something?
I'm not agreeing with
Frank.
you guys thing. Yeah, I feel now it also might be my closure because of time. I feel true. There's no gender whatsoever in who breaks up fast.
Yeah.
But we must take to note who is more emotional. You understand? There are people that work based on impulse. People that slightest reaction, they flare up. And I'm careful to call a lady now, but let's just be marking it, just do a checklist for guys and female, and then do a checklist. And then you see at the long run, female, they are mostly hurt in a relationship, yes. But if you look closely, I'm careful to give them the blame, but closely look into it, you see that female are prone to cause.
Really?
How? Please.
And they play victim,
Yeah, and they
And
play
they play victim.
at the victim point, and then they play victim.
Prissy, do you
But
have
that's
any?
because we love with our hearts and we love with our heads.
And
Unlike
Oh,
the
okay,
guys.
guys love with their heads, is that what you're
Yes,
saying?
exactly. Ladies think calculatively because before a lady will take an action, like she's thinking it thoroughly. Unlike the guys, you just wake up and then take this action.
Frank is disagreeing with you
Psychological
on
is wrong
that.
because
But then,
sorry,
okay.
90% of women are emotional beings. So I don't think your point is actually valid anyway to some extent because 90% of ladies are emotional beings, which means they act before they even think. Guys also just act the way guys think. If it is left for a guy, a lady in a relationship, maybe in a marriage, you have 10,000 naira, they're hungry, the lady will be like, well, they just buy this thing, do this thing, you understand? Guy will think about
I know that.
guy will think about
No,
No, but ladies are emotional beings. So I don't think guys, no, you are placing a guy now as an emotional being. No, we actually reserve. Ladies are emotional beings. Sanguines, right? Ladies are emotional beings. 90% of ladies are emotional
Thank God you said 90. It's not all.
No, it's
not
not
all,
all.
yes,
It's not
actually.
all.
At least
Psychologically,
they
you
have
have 10.
Yes.
Yes. I'm putting psychology now.
Okay.
Sanguine, emotional beings. 90% of the ladies
Yes.
are emotional. You are sanguine, okay? So 10% is just.
In addition to that, I feel, in my honest opinion, that a lady can break up with you 10 times in a relationship. And when the guy break up once, that's for all.
That's it.
You understand why it's like that? Because a lady has been thrown out to emotion and she breaks up and today she's not taking your call. She's crying. She expects your call and you call, she don't pick. She expects your call, you call, she don't pick. At the long run, she calls to quarrel you why you didn't call her or like paint the issue and then play victim like my friend Frank would say. So a woman is always at the verge of breakup because she can break. Once the guy breaks up, it's difficult to go back. That's the truth. Because he has calculated a lot. In fact, he has calculated his investment, the time he used to come and visit you, the money he used to spend on your hair and all those things. But you, a woman, you feel like I'm fine. Like I'm a beautiful woman. If Frank goes, Sam will come. And Sam doesn't go where Frank goes.
Well, I really wish we can talk more on this, but we're going to have this talk on series, so a lot is coming. So thank you so much, Prissy. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Mr. Frank, Mr. Sam. Thank you so much, Ms. Patient. Thank you so much for being here. To our viewers, I'm Ibome Hussein Melabari. Thanks for watching. Until next time, this is Frankly Speaking on Good News One TV. Don't forget to follow us on our social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and kindly subscribe to the YouTube channel. Give us a thumbs up and click on the notification button as more amazing content such as this will be dropping. And kindly do well to drop any questions that you might have, questions or suggestions, the topics you would like us to discuss about. You can kindly drop it on the comment section. See you next time. Thank you.